Good morning, good morning. This is Jacqueline Richardson, Miss JJ Diamond, Jackie Deja, whatever y'all call me. Hope everyone is having a wonderful Saturday morning. I am. Thank God for another day. Today we want to talk about addictions and families. You know that I had a slew full of addicts in my family. For some people, they look at the bad in it and pull away from it, and that was me pretty much, I saw what it did to my family members. I saw the pain. I saw the agony within them. I saw weakness. I saw destruction. I saw so much, and in families, there's always someone that has to be strong, and that's just what it is. Okay, for those that don't understand, you might be chosen as a child, you might get chosen as an adult, but someone has to stand strong. And when I say that, we don't get to choose our family members. We just born and we grow up and we watching all these things and we like, okay, that's not right because this is happening, Do I want to indulge in that, or do I want to do this way? I was the one that was always the black sheep. Now normally when you say black sheep, people think bad. Okay, black sheep doesn't mean bad. First of all, black means power, so make it make sense. And it just means that you stand out from the rest. Okay, where people that you're around have weaknesses that you can overcome. Okay. It's a hard road. And don't let nobody tell you different. Okay, if you're living in a family with addicts, meaning someone that's addicted to drugs or alcohol, it's a hard road. You never know what you're going to wake up to. Okay? Then you have to deal with your family members after they abuse themselves, okay, get sick, and then even sometimes die. So it's a hard road. So I say all of this to say, you can't get angry. It's a waste of energy. You can't be mad. It's a waste of energy. Just keep yourself strong enough to be able to go through it with them. In other words, be there when they need you. Don't look down upon them because they made a mistake. But they have to also understand that they made a mistake and have to fight as hard as possible to not reenact or re-engage in that type of lifestyle. Someone has said to me, I was doing music, got into the music. And this has been for the last 10 years. And he said, you sold your soul to the devil. And I said, well, how was that? And I said, well, everything that comes through me, come to me is godly. God makes sure I eat. God makes sure I sleep. He makes sure I'm protected. I'm able to get up every day, go to work, whether it be to make a song or go to my job. So where did I sell my soul at? I own a business. But where you have sold your soul at is allowing the devil to take you over. And sometimes, we have to tell them what we see. And sometimes to them they may feel like it's degrading. But sometimes it'll help them stop. Because we look at you differently, even though we know that you can be a better person, but this is what you're choosing. So who sold their soul? You have to make it make sense. Now, the things that we go through as family members, I'm going to tell y'all some of the stuff that I had to go through. I had to watch one of my family members in the street nodding. I'll be asking people around, have you seen this person? And they be like, oh yeah, they down there on such and such corner. And you go and you see them. Now this is how I grew up now, mind y'all. And you're trying to talk to them, but they so high and nodding, they don't hear nothing you say. Or they hear it, but be so high, it doesn't take effect until days later. As y'all know, drugs was the reason why my brother was molested and raped, and I was molested and abused. If my mother wasn't on drugs, it would have never happened. Because she would have been able to see the signs of a negative person being around her children. But because she was on drugs, she couldn't see that far. Do I blame her? No, because it was a disease that she picked up and she didn't know how harsh this particular disease can be. People constantly tell me, you need to stop smoking, and I'll be ready to slap the pure fire out them. I need to stop smoking. But I've dealt with people on dope, alcohol, crack cocaine in my family. I think smoking a cigarette is the understatement. That's why I do it proudly. I wish a fool would try to tell me to stop smoking my cigarettes. When I come from a family full of addicts that use more drugs and alcohol than a little bit. Okay? So I laugh at them and tell them, get up out my face. Don't try to chastise me. People don't realize, as family members of addicts, what we go through. The tossing and turning at night. If this person gets in trouble because they undone something, did something to someone or took somebody's stuff, and you got to help them get out of that situation. It's not an easy road. It's just not. And I take my hat off to anybody that's going through it. And I understand. You gotta do what you gotta do for yourself first. Sometimes I used to have to take a break. You know, they tell me, oh, Jackie, you're always moving. I'm always moving, yeah. Because it gets to the point where you can't take it anymore. You want to get away from it. You want a new start. You don't even want people to even know you have family. Just like when I came to Charlotte, I used to tell people, I ain't got no family. And they're like, oh, she got to have family. I ain't got no family. Y'all don't want to know my family. But I can't get rid of them because they're my family. People say, how can you do this by yourself? In reality, I can't. God just makes it happen. Because he knows my heart. I pray. I ask him to help me through the process of being that one that tries to stand strong for the family. People don't get how hard it really is. People say, oh, Jackie, you don't go out, you don't do this, you don't, because I want peace. Do you know what I've been through in my life with my family? Do you know? You can never imagine. Jackie's fearless. I had to be. Do you know what I went through with my family? Jackie speaks well. Do you know what I went through with my family? You know how many times I had to keep some alive? How many times I had to keep some from going to jail for murder? How many times I had to stop someone from stealing? How many times I had to talk people down because they're about to do something that irrational because they're on a drug? So many times that I can't count. It's second nature to me. Being able to diffuse situations because I'm able to see the reality of what's really going on. See, God gave me that gift. See, everybody think that pain that God put us through is hell. If you don't have pain, you will never understand what's really going on. Just like I was supposed to get back to you guys about the ADHD and everything, but I went outside. My car was acting up. And I had to turn my car around. And come back because I didn't want to drive the place that I was going, which was to pick up my daughter, and my car break down. Because then I would have had to go through all of the stress of calling a tow truck, having a tow truck take the car back, then I have to get back home myself. It would have been a stressful moment for myself. So I learned within my lifetime to make the appropriate decisions. Think quick. Reason being is because my family always put me in situations where I had to think quick. So do y'all see what God has done for me? Even though there was a lot of pain, God set me aside from the rest. He gave me the knowledge that I needed to have to protect not only them, but to protect my life. Everything is a learning experience, and knowledge always comes through a learning experience, a lesson. But when people choose to do things their way and not the appropriate way, that's when the towers come tumbling down. That's not my fault if you choose not to listen and pay attention to what's happening around you and not to engage in certain activities, because you may fall as well. And see, that's what God was teaching me. Look at all the stress you're going through. You. While all these fools running around, they high, they drunk, they doing this, they doing that. And nobody can make the appropriate decisions for anybody's life. So since you're the only one that I can see, I'm going to appoint you to make sure that they stay straight. And when I feel like they too much for you, I'll take it from there. This is why I'm the head of the family. I love every one of my family members. Every one of them. I would never let nobody hurt them, even though they hurt me. And sometimes they hurt me so bad to where I be falling apart. But then God will come with a gift and throw it on the table. In other words, a blessing. I don't do it because of a blessing. But that's God's blessing to me. You know, I talked to my daughter yesterday, and I talked to her about on FaceTime. And she looked at me and she said, "Oh my God, you look so healthy." And I said, yeah. I said, God is, He's changed my life to where now I look at the benefits that He has given me. I just couldn't see it. Sometimes you just can't see what God is trying to show you. So sometimes you got to pray on that as well. God, I know you're not doing it through me. And this is just for the family members. Okay? God, I know you're not doing it to me. I know I didn't allow the devil to snatch my soul and have me as an addict or out here, just doing all kind of negative things. What is the lesson for me? Open my eyes and let me see. And that's what y'all have to pay attention to. What God needs you to see through allowing the devil to attack one of your family members. What do you want me to see? What led this person to that activity? And what should I do to keep myself away from that? See, God is the way God works is very funny, guys. And I'm explaining it to y'all the best I can. The moment that God feels like you're losing faith in him, he will put more on you until you drop to your knees. That's how God works. Because he's the Alpha, the Omega. And when God says, I need you to follow this rule, you need to follow the rule. If God has given you testimonies without hurting you, you need to follow the lesson. Because if you don't, he will drop you to your knees. Until you can't do nothing else but give him grace and praise. That's how God works. So whatever demon is attacking your family members, and you saying to yourself, I just can't understand, I just can't take it no more, you need to drop to your knees. Whatever religion you are, I mean, everybody does things different. Some people drop to their knees and pray. You know, you got the Muslims, they kneel. You know, you have the Christians, some of them kneel. Some go into, they cross their legs like how I do, and put their palms up to God, to the universe, you know, in meditation. Everybody does it differently. It doesn't matter how you do it. Just do it. And give it to God and ask him, what do you need me to do? We're all here for a purpose. And if you can't follow simple things, you're not fit for his kingdom. This is why I tell you, I read the Bible. The Bible is an instruction booklet to life. Those stories are stories about people that's done bad and turned to God, and some went good and some stayed bad, but people don't want to read it to understand what's really going on out here. If you will read it, just take the time. I keep trying to tell people, don't let no pastor tell you what's going on in that book and running you all through the book from scripture to scripture. Take the time out yourself and read the scriptures. And pray before you open the book. And ask God to receive. I need to receive and understand what you need. Either you work for the devil or you work for God. That don't mean that you're not going to get negative in your life. It's all on how you deal with it. You can't stress yourself if it's beyond your control. You know, I hate that saying that people they say, God is not going to put more on you than you can bear. If you don't have the knowledge on how to walk freely through it, it will be more than you can bear. And that's why some people do choose drugs and alcohol. Because they want to numb the pain. They've reached the bearing point.